Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to our second panel of the day, August 6th. You're halfway there. Whoa, oh, you're halfway there. Well, wow, we have so much in store for you today with this panel, but I just wanted to do a couple of quick housekeeping things. At last check, our Change of Life, in roughly 29 hours having launched, you've raised $70,000 for people in Ukraine, specifically for our LGBTQ friends and Ukrainians with disabilities. So thank you. You're doing it. Keep going. Get others to donate. We don't want you to donate. We want you to get others to donate, and you're doing it. You're already 70% of the goal at $70,000 raised in such a short time. We are, honestly, we keep waiting for people to lose steam on caring about others because we see so much of that in the news, and you just keep showing up. So we're really thankful for that. A couple other things, if you haven't submitted an act of kindness to the Random Acts submission and proposal form, please do. They are looking for you to do kindnesses around the world. They've earmarked $50,000 to help you do that. And they have $50 per person if you get approved. So go for it. You can do it. You can spread kindness, whether it's just helping out some teachers with some supplies or doing something nice for someone else who needs a little lift. Rock it out. Finally, if you're in the San Francisco Bay Area on August 6th, come on down. We want to prioritize making sure that registrants for GISH can come live for our closing ceremony. If you're watching from home, there will be a Zoom as well. So we invite all of you to watch, but if you're in the area, we will be following COVID protocols and whatnot. So just fill out that form. But before I begin with the panel today, I just want to say a couple of things. I would like to advise the audience right now that there may be language or topics that are discussed, and they're meant for maybe, let's say, more mature audiences, okay, or adult audiences during this panel. So the item challenge will be for all ages, but if you have anyone in the audience who may not be ready for discussions about more adult topics, they might want to leave the room. I'm not saying it will happen, but it can, because tonight we're inviting you to come on Zoom with Lyle, the therapy gecko. So if you want, just raise your hand if you are camera ready and would like to chat with Lyle tonight. That will help me find people and our moderators find people who want to come on. So Lyle, let me just introduce a little bit before we talk to him. Lyle is an unlicensed lizard psychologist who travels the universe talking to strangers. And he talks to them about absolutely nothing. He talks to them about anything, everything, and nothing. And you can call the Gecko friend every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Lyle Forever. And we'll put out all these links and whatnot. But if you ever want to go on his show or call in, that's your spot. So get your questions ready. And we're going to watch a little clip from Lyle right now.
It says here, you have been actively committing marriage fraud for money. What exactly is marriage fraud?
In my job, if you're married, you get paid significantly more money. So me and one of my buddies decided to just get married, and now I make a bunch of money and I buy him things sometimes, and it all works out good for the both of us. At work, I have to kind of tiptoe around the fact that I'm not gay.
Well, Scotty, I have news for you. If you and your buddy are legally married, there is no fraud being taken place. You don't have to be gay to get married to a man. You did it.
I love him also. I love my husband a lot.
All right, Lyle. Let's have Lyle on down. Lyle, are you there,
Hello.
Lyle?
Yes, how are you guys? It's good to be here at GISH.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. How's it been? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I've been hanging out in the chat. I don't know if that's okay for me to do, but
Of course.
someone asked me if I could talk to their Gecko. I'm down to do that. I think it'll be a fairly one-sided conversation, but I'm always down. Um, and yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Well,
How are you
we're
doing, man?
so I'm doing pretty. I'm a little sweaty under this in this costume. I figured if I'm meeting a gecko therapist, I should probably dress up as a species that I identify with. I'm a Wookiee. I'm a Wookiee doula. That's what I do for a
Thank you
living.
for doing that to make me feel comfortable.
I'm here for you today. Well, what on earth is happening here? You're a gecko and you
Yeah.
dispense insightful, frequently humorous commentary and advice to callers. Like, tell us your story. How did you go from your gecko habitat to coming to this corner of the internet?
Well, I started out on Reddit, just dressing up as a gecko and acting like an insane person. There was no advice. There's no advice involved. I painted my face green, put on a gecko costume, and ranted to a live stream for 45 minutes about how much I love eating bugs and how the lizard agenda is going to, ultimately take over the world. And that was entertaining for one stream. And then I was like, I got sort of sick of hearing myself talk, which I often do. And I put up a phone number and invited other people to start calling. And an interesting thing happened where I kind of went into this with no expectations, and expecting like the majority, like if you put a phone number out on the internet, you expect most of the calls to be sort of trolly or nonsensical. And I started getting calls from people who wanted to discuss with me like real, genuine things going on in their lives that, sometimes were funny or sometimes were, legitimate issues and whatnot. And yeah, I started just getting into this thing where people would call me and I would talk to them about their life. It was something I was sort of thrown into, and I'm now currently rolling with until it destroys me.
Well, the world is a better place for it, and we don't want it to destroy you. So maybe would you mind talking to some Gishers? And if Gishers have some questions, you can help them out.
I will do my best.
Okay.
I
Well,
will promise you that.
I mean, your gecko wisdom is needed right now. We're halfway into the scavenger hunt, and I don't think there's a better time for everyone here to get a little love and a little help here. Oh,
Yeah, I'm sure
hi,
people are.
Vivian.
Oh, Vivian's
Hi.
the one with the gecko.
Yep. Yeah, he's kind of an asshole.
Oh,
Okay, so am I.
uh,
Well, the two of you would get along if he was awake. But
is he asleep?
yeah, it's the daytime. They're crepuscular.
Hmm.
Lyle could tell you all about that.
Vivian, can I ask you what it is that made you want to get a gecko?
I thought my kids would enjoy it.
Okay. And do they?
No.
Hmm. Hmm. Was that disappointing for you when you tried to get your kids involved with the gecko and they were not interested at all?
Yeah, because he poops a lot, and I am the one to clean that up now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When you got the gecko, did you envision that you would be doing all of this work, or did you envision that your kids would be doing the work?
Uh, I had a beautiful dream that my kids would do the work, and also that it wouldn't be that much work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we did have some fun. I fed him a tomato hornworm caterpillar.
What is that?
Well, it's about as big as my pinky. It's like a teal blue. They're very pretty. And he's a normal leopard gecko. He's not, I don't think he's a year old. He won't produce identification documents, so I don't really know how old he is, but he couldn't figure out how to eat it. And that was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually he persevered. He got angrier and angrier, and then eventually decided that he would eat it like a snake eats a mouse. and
okay.
choked the whole thing down, which looked like it was going to cause damage to him, but it didn't. At least as far as I know.
Can I ask, have there been other times or situations where like you've expected something from your kids and they've acted in a completely different way?
Yeah. Yes.
How often does that happen?
A lot. A lot. Less now that they've beaten me down
Hmm.
by thwarting my expectations for years, but I still find that I have expectations.
Hmm. Hmm. Does a part of you ever want to just abandon all expectations?
Yes. Do you have advice for me to do that?
To abandon expectation? Yeah. Do let me. Do your expectations like do they serve you in any way? Because I'm not gonna say you should abandon them if they're helpful for you.
Oh, that's a really good question.
Because like you had this expectation that your kids would take care of this gecko, and then you got the gecko, and your expectation was wrong. But now you have this gecko, and you're giving your gecko a lot of guff. But you seem like you like it. You seem like so you had this expectation, it didn't work out, but it led you to a place where you are now that you seem to be enjoying. I don't know if
Well,
that's true.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. There's a lot of wisdom that you just offered me. I do think my expectations serve me sometimes insofar as I push outside of my comfort zone or
Mm,
help my kids do that in the hopes that we might find something new that we enjoy.
mhm.
But I do encourage myself and them not to expect that it will be the greatest thing ever,
Yeah,
but just that it may be a nice surprise.
yeah.
Um, I think my expectations related to providing them with teaching moments are usually a mistake. That's
Mm,
paternalistic and didactic, and I'll admit that.
mm. Your expectations providing them with like you expect them to have a learning moment, but they don't.
Right. Like I can't manufacture those in advance,
Uh huh.
and whenever I try, that doesn't.
Well, I think it's nice. I think it's good that you're trying. You've like done your part, and then whether or not they get it is a little bit out of your hands at this
Yep.
point.
Yep.
But I'm just a gecko. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, you have a point, Lyle. As a fellow parent, as a Wookiee parent, I too relate to the need to tell my kids and give my kids a kind of wisdom that they are not ready to receive, and it's quite frustrating.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
How old are you? Can I ask how old your kids are?
One just turned 8, and the other is 11 and a half.
So they're grown up.
Okay.
They're grown up, basically.
Yeah, they're basically adults. I mean, I have encouraged them to
Get a
leave
job.
the nest, but
Mhm.
monetize the TikToks is what I say. But technically, I guess they're not even old enough to have TikToks, although they do.
Well, as
Illegal.
soon as
It's
they
illegal.
are, you should make one of those family TikTok channels and force them to dance so that you can get brand deals.
Yeah.
Genius, genius.
Well, I didn't realize that you would be offering business advice on top of life advice.
I'm full service.
Awesome. It's great.
All the way around. Thank you, Vivian. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If it's not, call the local animal control.
Hmm. And have me sent to with a gecko pound.
Gecko pound. Is there a
Gecko
gecko
pound.
pound? Have you been to the, can I ask you about your personal life for a moment?
I hope to never find out the answer to that question. Oh crap! I can't hear
No,
you
no, this is
anymore.
great advice. We'll bring out some more people. I'm just over here sweating in this costume. I don't know how you do this. But we'll bring on another guest.
My
This is,
body has adjusted to it.
okay. Well, you're cold-blooded too, so that makes sense. Yeah, our interpreter's now drinking as well. That's good. All right. Hello, Marie.
Hi, Marie.
I have a personal question. So hopefully you're a love gecko. Um, as a person of a certain age, not going to say what it is, cut my arm off, count the rings, you can figure it out. Um, I haven't been on a date in over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have tried the onlines, but it seems no matter how old you get, men always want 20 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. Or the converse is young men who think perhaps I have lots of money, because I can't imagine a 20-year-old young man being truly, truly interested. Maybe that's a little self-esteem issue, but it's an issue. So I either get, if I do it like on Match or something, I'll get 80-year-olds or 20-year-olds. Now, I gotta say, I don't go out much. I don't drink. I have been sober for 6 years. So I don't like the bar scene. You know, parties where there's drinking. I think I haven't been invited to a party in a long time because I don't drink anymore. But what do I do? It's like, I think I'm ready to do something. I'm just running out of ideas. Perhaps, and I'm weird. So there's that.
That's a great place to start. If you're weird, you want someone else who's weird, right?
Yes. Humor's a top one.
When you say you're weird, what kinds of things do you do or ways that you are that make yourself weird?
I've done GISH since
Okay,
2015.
all right, listen. There's other things.
Other things that make me weird?
Yeah, not just GISH. GISH isn't the only thing, right? Like that's not the only thing, right?
Oh,
Are you saying we need
I don't
a
know, she's
dating
talking
site?
to a Gecko and Chewbacca right now.
yeah, I know. Weird in that I always go for anything costumey. So
Yeah,
I'm the one that dressed like Dynamite and went and gave out cards to senior citizens in the nursing home. Try to get a guy on board with that. I'm the one that was in the 4-star restaurant with a taxidermied squirrel having dinner because that was one of the challenges. I think I've sort of lost my joy to weirdness. I used to be an actor and a singer, but that also requires a person of a certain age because I was doing more of the singing, dancing than the acting. And so that doesn't make me weird. That just makes me somebody who sang and danced on, off Broadway, regional, local stuff, to the point where all of a sudden I wasn't getting the roles I wanted anymore. And all of a sudden, here I am like, oh crap, between my career and, filling my evenings with theater, I kind of ran out of time. You have a time machine?
Well, I don't think you've ran out of time at all because you don't run out of time until you're dead. If you're dead, you're out of time to do anything. But you look alive to me, so you have still time.
Yes.
You're going to all these like you're in Gish and you're in all these other sort of places where because that's why the reason I asked you what sorts of things make you weird is because I'm like, okay, well, what sorts of like things that you do then you lead you to places where you're around other people.
Yeah, that's the thing. I guess my biggest weirdness is that I don't go out, so I have only myself to blame. But I don't know where I would go at this point.
And can I say this thing? Is I think a lot of people, if you identify yourself as weird, I don't know if you view it as like
Oh, that's
like
a good thing.
yeah, it's a good thing, right?
Yeah,
I don't
it's a
know.
good
Some
thing.
people they view it as like a handicap to them as to why other
Yeah.
people wouldn't be interested in them. But it's a thing is if you are, a polarizing character, if you bring taxidermied squirrels to 4-star restaurants, yes, a lot of people will find that a little peculiar, and you're going to have to sort through a lot of people. But what's beautiful about it is that when you find the guy who is like, man, who's that girl with the taxidermied squirrel? She's amazing. It's gonna be beautiful. You have to accept with some awareness that it'll take some time to get there, but when you do, it's gonna be fucking awesome. So
Well, maybe I'll put it out
trade-off.
to the to the other panelists and the other people in this audience. You
should.
see my name there, so
Yep.
When is
And
this
there,
ending ceremony? We need to get you out to the ending
you
ceremony.
should be
I
here,
wish.
Marie. Marie,
I'm
where,
in
what part of
Massachusetts.
you're in Massachusetts? What are you doing all the way over there?
I
Get over to
know.
San Francisco. Listen, we're gonna have a dance party. First of all, I want to say a couple things. One, there are plenty of gish in the sea. Okay, like you have a lot going for you, and you need to just open yourself up to the fact that you have a lot going for you, and then other people will take notice of it. Putting yourself in the right environments, like Lyle said, absolutely. But this is the thing: your weirdness will match someone else's weirdness, and when that happens,
It's gonna be beautiful.
it's gonna be beautiful.
So what you
Your
need to find
lips.
someone with another what's a like another taxidermied squirrel, and you guys can make the squirrels kiss like you're doing like Barbie dolls.
Yeah, that would add up to the weirdness for sure.
We have, by the way, I gotta say, we have somebody in the chat who said, "My dad fell in love with his current boyfriend at age 70." I hear stuff like that all the time.
All
70,
the time.
you
Wow.
know, 80, all the time. People,
Well,
they're in retirement homes.
Hold on to your
They're like,
hats.
you
I
know.
just turned 63, so
You're kidding. You have so much time. 70 is the new 35, in my opinion. Like 30, you have your stuff together more. You're not like you're still virile and ready to like have fun. It's really about where you are. I agree with you, Lyle. I agree. Yep. All right. I think we have time for like one or two more, maybe. There's actually a question here in the chat. I'm just going to read it off. Lyle, what advice would you give to someone who is completely isolated and doesn't know how to make true quality friends? So has no one in their day-to-day life. I'm getting pretty miserable and I could use any tips, all the tips I could get.
That's a really tough one. I'm trying to think here because I'm not, I'm not good at answering stuff from the chat because I want to talk to that person and be
Totally.
like, well, what do you
And I
like?
have that.
What
Yeah,
is-
I get
you know.
it.
But I guess some like blanket thing is like, you know, think about who you are and what you like, and then again, you know, think about the places where people would be,
Yeah.
where you would gravitate towards. One thing I'll say this: when I was in college, I was really isolated for a while. As a freshman in college, I was really isolated. I was really depressed, and I was like, didn't know how to find a group of people. And one thing that I tell people who call me they're in college is, everyone says to join clubs. That's a good way to make friends. But an even better way is to start clubs. If you have an entrepreneurial spirit to you and you start a thing, I mean, something like even like this, GISH. I'm sure you've made a ton of friends.
Well, then no, that's why Misha did it. He didn't have any friends, and now look at him. He's surrounded by weirdos. It's amazing.
So anything that you can do to sort of rally people behind a singular thing is a great way to build community around you. And I know that's a big sort of task if you're down in the dumps, but at least look to that as like a guide point.
So true. And also, I mean, GISH dating site obviously is the next step here, obviously.
Oh yeah, there's definitely
it's ready. We're ready to do it. And if you see anybody in the chat here who it feels like they're isolated or don't have friends, and they say, just say, put up your Twitter or put up your Instagram or something. Say, hey, I'm open for friends, open for business with friends, and then find each other and hang out on Zooms and get to know other people. Just obviously have boundaries. It's the internet. Jennifer.
Hey Charlie. Hey
Hi.
Gecko. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
First of all, I totally relate to what the other caller was. I forgot her name, the one who was just on. I actually can do one further. I've never had a boyfriend. I've never been on a date in my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Because now Misha or Charlie, you'll relate to this because this is like a gish kind of reaction. I highly feel like that to men, I'm like like a human bug spray. That men do not want me anywhere near me. And I've tried being positive. I tried doing everything, and it's just no. For some reason, I can't. And I put myself out there, and like Charlie said, and like you said, for a long time, I was isolated. I've been bullied for most of my life, and I can't believe that I'm actually having my best life of my best life at the age I am now. First, I have I have friends in my public life, my personal life. Like because of y'all and the supernatural family, And because I've been on GISH now for 4 years, which is amazing, and I'm planning on being a GISHer for life, like always, And I've actually had, I was on one team which they weren't really supportive. I mean, they were okay, but they weren't. And luckily, I couldn't be on that team, and I was on this other team for one of the mini hunts, and we clicked so much that we're now talking all year round. We're like, I now will be on their team forever. I mean, for the first year, this hunt, I'm actually a co-captain for the first time, and we have become such a supportive network, a supported system. It's just amazing. And we collected, and we've had people from the United States, like I am, and from all over the world, and I've met some other teams from some other people from Supernatural itself. I've had now connected because with other people, and become close with them, and I've become like very close to them. Like they're like a support, and I need, it's like I need them, they need me. It's like amazing. The other thing is, when I wanted to bring up why I brought up Gish, and is I always feel bad is everybody on my team has an amazing talent. I can't draw. I can't paint. I'm like, I am not creative. Like, I can only do like little things, like certain things on the list. And then I have to like half the time I can't even do half the stuff. And everybody else is doing so many stuff, and I feel bad. And it seems like the only real true gisher ability I have is being a cheerleader and supporting people, supporting my team, like verbally. But yet I'm not able to get the point, whatever. Like I was supposed to do the 116 challenge.
Yep.
I couldn't even get. I could only get 2 M&M or 3 M&M, and that was it.
That's
and they
okay.
kept,
What's the
That's all right.
What's the 116 challenge?
Oh,
And how are
you had to
M&Ms?
break-
Lyle,
You had to
Lyle.
actually break the record of sacking the most freestyle, free, the M&Ms. There
You
was
have to
7
stack
now.
M&Ms. There's a Guinness World Record for the most number of
Yes.
M&Ms stacked on top of each other, and we're
How
trying to
the
get people
heck
to
do you
break it.
stack even 2 of them?
Lyle, that is a trade secret. We can't reveal that. You know that. We've talked about this. There are things we can't talk about here.
I
How
know,
do you
and
stack
I
M&Ms after?
For
completely
example.
failed. I mean, I had to actually unassign myself, and I'm constantly unassigning myself. And it's like
Right.
sometimes I don't even think I can actually do anything on the list except for supporting my team. And of course, I don't get the
Yeah.
points for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm letting people down.
Oh,
And
I
it's-
got you.
Yeah, and
So Jennifer, I think we lost Jennifer. I think her question was,
Oh yeah.
when you feel like you're letting people down, how do you show up for yourself or the other people? That's what I'm getting.
Jennifer. Anyone listening to Jennifer talk can tell that she has a lot of passion for her team, has a lot of passion for GIF, has a lot of just passion for life.
Yeah.
And look, not everyone's gonna be great at friggin' dancing. Not about one person in the universe is probably great at stacking M&Ms. I wouldn't add that to when you're thinking about the list of whatever things that you feel like you can't do. But I'm a big fan of doing what you can with what you have, right? So if you're not inclined artistically, if you're not inclined with whatever these things are, do what you can with what you have. It's not about having the best tool set, but looking at what you've got. And you looked at what you had, Jennifer, and you were like, I'm a great cheerleader. I have a great spirit. What can I do with that? And you're doing the best you can with that. And so I think you're doing a great job here, in doing what you can with what you have. And I think that your teammates appreciate your spirit. I mean, why the hell do we do this whole thing? It's just to have a good time and to feel alive and to connect with other people. And Jennifer, for you, to embody the spirit of what's going on here is not about being good at stacking M&Ms. It's about exactly all the things that you're talking about. So I think you're doing great, Jennifer, and I think that you are in no way letting your teammates down, and that they appreciate you being their cheerleader.
Agreed. And yeah, you can never underestimate a cheerleader. We all need support, you know. I want to say a couple things here as we close out. You can file if you found Lyle the Therapy Gecko's advice helpful. If you want Lyle in your life more, you can find Lyle's podcast, Therapy Gecko, on Spotify and all major podcast platforms. He will also be going on a US tour. So go see him in person. Go sit in the audience and let that wisdom wash over you. Check Lyle's social media for details if you'd like to catch him live. We got all the socials right there, and we'll be putting them up across the internet. And then, you know, you can find him on a number of different places. But why don't I go ahead and reveal the item, the deliverable, the challenge that you all will be doing. The position of Therapy Gecko has already been filled by our friend Lyle. Dress up as a different reptile and dispense some life advice to strangers. Post the video of your unlicensed therapy session on Instagram, tagging @Lyle4, the number 4, and hashtag GISH. This is 29 points. Lyle, my gecko bro, you're incredible.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. This is clearly a community of very, very awesome, passionate people, and I appreciate you letting me sit here and be a gecko.
You're a gentleman and a scholar gecko, and we appreciate having you here. Thank you, everybody. And go follow Lyle right now. Go show up at his shows. Support this young lizard friend. All right. Bye, everyone.
Charlie forever.